I did not sign up for this. Or maybe I did sign up for this when I sold my soul to the company. I'm going to tell you about something that happened the other day, and it just is such a special experience that I need to actually share it with someone, with people, before I implode. I work at a place where I make food, and if you don't know this, sometimes places that make food have a tip jar. And this particular day, I'm working alone. So I'm making what I'm making, and I'm in the zone. I am doing it, I am getting it out, I am like focused, I'm doing it, I'm getting the food onto the tray, and I'm like, yes, this is my job. So this lady comes up to the counter, and I'm like, okay, cool, rad, I'm gonna get you what you want because I'm a good employee and I believe in good customer service. How can I help you today? And she asks for something. So I get her that thing and I tell her the total. So she's a pretty average lady, probably late 30s, early 40s, pretty average American lady. So she reaches inside her purse and she gets her huge friggin' wallet. Like, this thing is like monstrous, but she had a big wallet. I don't know why that's important to say. She had a wallet, and she reaches inside her wallet and she pulls out this. It came up to be like $3 something. I think it was like $3.95. It's like around $3.95. She reaches out $3. She hands me the dollars, so I'm pulling the dollars in there. And she misunderstands what I say the change is. So she counts what she has in her wallet, and she grabs the tip jar. The tip jar that is obviously a tip jar, and she knows it's a tip jar because she's like, man, tips are just so important. They got me through like so much when I was younger. She reaches her grimy little stupid hand into the tip jar like she's checking the inside of a cow's butt. She just reaches in there and she grabs out 18 cents. Actually, she grabs out a whole bunch of stuff. She counts it and hands me 18 cents. At this point, I am too confused by what she's saying and what she's doing to say or do anything. I am like, what in the world is this lady doing? She is talking to me about how important tips are to her and how they've gotten her through things, and she's like, wow, tips are so important. So she hands me the 18 cents, and I'm biting my tongue. I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation. I am incredibly confused, and there's an old lady getting into her car. Freaking, this old lady probably thinks I'm insane. Like, oh, dang you kids and your technology. She hands me the change, and I count it. I wasn't paying attention really to how much change she was grabbing, just the fact she was grabbing change out of my tip jar, and I only had maybe $1, a little over $1 in there, just in change. So I count out 18. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's 95 cents. And she opens her wallet again. She looks at the dollar that is in there. She's like, I don't want to break this dollar. She kind of mumbles, I don't want to break that. So she opens up her coin purse, the freaking coin purse, or whatever the inside of that is, and there's no coins in there. So she takes, because I'm holding the 18 cents. I'm just holding it in my hand, kind of, whatever. But she grabs the 18 cents out of there, out of my hand, grabs it like freaking pterodactyl coming in on its prey, just puts it back in the jar, tips the jar over, and reaches in it again. As if she's just, So while she's doing this, she's like, man, I've been known to put $5 tips in before at places and blah, blah, blah. And she's talking about this, and I'm like, what? And then she goes on about oh yeah, tips are so important to people and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, they're so important. They literally pay for my gas, and they get me food that I need and my meds that I need, and they are really important to me. And I'm dead straight in the eyes staring at her. I'm like, yeah, they're really important. So she grabs out an entire handful. Like, there's just like pennies and dimes and nickels in there, and she's like counting them. She's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about how tips are important because I'm a jerk. Blah, blah, blah. So, counts it out, and it comes up to like 98 cents or something like that. She like puts some back in, and then she counts out the 98 cents because it couldn't get to 95 even. I don't even understand. But she hands me 98 cents. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm still biting my tongue. I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation. Do I tell her, no, don't do that? Or is that considered bad customer service? Will I get in trouble with my manager if she goes to corporate? I don't know. Like, so I don't say anything. I don't want to lose my job. I like my job. I work at a pretty awesome place. So I'm like, well, I don't want to get in trouble at all, whatsoever. And there's a guy and his wife walking kind of creepily behind my car. What are you doing? Stop standing in front of the back of my car. So, hands me back my change, my own money. Here, have your own money and pay for my freaking food. So I'm like, okay. So I grab it. I count it out. That's great. It's 98 cents. Put it in there. I gave her back the 3 cents. Her change, my change, her change. Hand it to her. She grabs her stuff. Like I'm about to hand it to her, but she grabs her stuff while I'm doing everything. She's like, do. And I go to hand her the 3 cents. The 3 freaking pennies. And I'm like, here's your change. And she's like, oh, no, darling. Put that in there. Like, she just did the world a favor. Like, she is just the greatest angel in the world, and the heavens and the earth, and she just did the most miraculous thing to ever happen to her in her entire life and in my life. She acted like she just saved me. She was just like, oh, no, darling. Put those in there. I'm like, it's humiliating, for one, because I was the one who literally had to drop the 3 cents out of the 95 she took, out of the freaking, like, 99% of my tip jar in there. All I got back was 3 cents. And I'm like, okay. Well then. Thank you. Have a nice day.